Hello my friends, my name is Tim Johnson. Just a quick video today on my thoughts and feelings on Suboxone. And just because somebody's recently contacted me and asked me about Suboxone withdrawal. So I thought it might be useful to some of you out there who are thinking about going on Suboxone, currently on it, or thinking about coming off it. An addict's life, or life in addiction, from my own experiences, and you can probably all relate to this, it's chaos. It's unmanageable. You know, everything goes out the window, not only your sort of dignity, self-respect, self-esteem, all of the rest of those things, but your whole life is spent chasing after your next fix and money to buy it, and everything, you know, your health goes out the window, you don't eat properly, you sacrifice everything for your addiction. It is your only focus, you know, you lose friendships, family, all of these things, you know, your life is literally total chaos. And I think, certainly mine was prior to taking Suboxone, going on a maintenance medication, Suboxone. So what is Suboxone? Suboxone is a partial opiate antagonist. It consists of, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. It consists of two elements: buprenorphine, which is what sits on your opiate receptors in your brain and blocks opiates basically, and naloxone. And naloxone is there as a sort of safety measure, if you like. If you try and crush the tablets, or you know, and try and get a high from them by injecting them, then naloxone will immediately kick in and give you very, very, very unpleasant withdrawal symptoms. It's there as a safety net, if you like. It prevents you feeling any sort of high or numbness from the buprenorphine as well. You know, it's an important integral part of it. The starting dose normally is 8 milligrams of buprenorphine, 2 milligrams of naloxone, and a couple of those a day. I think because I was sort of heavily using opiates, because I'm going back quite a long time now. It's a long time since I've taken opiates, and you know, I've had issues with alcohol, as you can see on the channel, but opiates, no, thank God. But I was on 24 milligrams a day, which is quite a high dose. They dissolve under your tongue. Sometimes if you're going on them for the first time, you'll have to take them under a doctor's supervision, and so they can check that they've dissolved under your tongue thoroughly and you're not storing them up or anything like that. They have a much longer half-life. They stay than normal opiates, if you like. So they stay in the body for 24 to 36 hours. The thing is, you have to, before you start taking them as well, a lot of people don't know this, but you have to rid yourself of, you have to, I think it's at least 24 to 36 hours before you go on to the main, you know, the first maintenance dose. You have to stop taking your opiate of choice, your drug of choice, because otherwise nasty withdrawal symptoms may kick in and you're going to feel really shitty. That's quite hard to do for a lot of people. But if you want your sobriety badly enough, you'll do that. You know, I know I did. And this was, you know, this was quite a while ago now. Now, the thing is with them, because of that longer half-life and the longer they stay in your body, what they do is they sit on your, as I say, they're a partial opiate antagonist, the buprenorphine part of it. So they sit on those opiate receptors. So if you took an opiate, let's say you were on the maintenance dose and you took an opiate, you know, you succumbed, if you like, and took it, you wouldn't feel any high or experience any high from it at all. It would block all of that. You know, and the naloxone may even then kick you into withdrawal symptoms. It's a real incentive not to do that, trust me. But I think the main and the best reason for taking them, just before I go on to the withdrawal from them, is it stops all that chaos. You know, you can't get sober, you can't get free of addiction in that chaos of your addiction, if you like. It's just impossible. No, you know, these people that say, oh, I'll just drop off and go, you know, cold turkey. You know, if you've been an opiate addict, whatever your opiate of choice is, whether you've been injecting heroin or fentanyl, or you're, you know, taking pills, OxyContin, all the rest of it, you know, whatever that drug of choice is, to stop that in that chaos, when you're still mixing with all the wrong people, when you're still going to all the same places, when your life and your home is probably in chaos, you're not looking after yourself, you're not eating properly, you're not in good health, you've got no money because it's all spent on drugs, then what's going on a maintenance medication is, and there are others, but I personally think the best is Suboxone. Methadone has got its own issues around it because it can be abused, and it's also a horrendous withdrawal, methadone, you know, and I've been there as well. It's not pleasant at all. It takes a long time. There's a really long half-life, stays in your system for longer. And I remember being at rehab and someone who'd been experiencing methadone withdrawal symptoms for literally months, you know, and he got to come into rehab to help him, to stop him relapsing, basically. So although, you know, it's been around since the 1940s, and probably a lot of people have got clean on it and maintain themselves on it, so I shouldn't knock it too much. But Suboxone for me is the more comfortable choice, if you like. So once all that chaos is dissolved and you go on this medication, you're settled into that medication, things start to come back in your life. You can take a breath, you know, and you can get yourself organised. You can get your shit together, basically, at home, and you can save some money. You can start eating properly. You can get yourself clean and washed and tidy your home up, and you can, you know, take a breath and stop mixing with the people and the places that are dragging you back into addiction. You know, it's not easy. Any of that's not easy. There's a lot about it on the channel, so please subscribe and have a look at it. But that, you know, it's not easy, but it's a damn sight harder if you're still in active addiction. So you know, Suboxone's a great choice for that. Coming off it, withdrawal from it does take longer than coming off. You know, if you went cold turkey off an opiate, like I've just said not to do, but say if you did, the withdrawal symptoms probably, although if you look at my last video on pause, you'll see that if you've been on opiates for a long time, you may get pause anyway, post-acute withdrawal syndrome. But if you're coming off Suboxone, what I would recommend, and what all the doctors recommend, is a very, very slow reduction. And because of the nature of the pills, you can break them up, and they can prescribe them in really low doses. So say you get your stuff, you know, you get your act together over a year or 2 years that you're on Suboxone, which is, you know, which is not unreasonable, just to get everything together, and you feel like, right, I want to be totally drug-free now. Then you can start reducing over 6 months if you want, longer if you want, you know, and you can do it in such a gradual way that you can be right down to point something of a gram, you know, of it a day, if you like, and then falling off it, you know, you might get a little twinge, but it's really not a major thing. You know, if you try and come off them straight away, obviously it's going to be a longer and protracted and probably uncomfortable withdrawal. Maybe not as bad as actual opiates, but you know, it'll be bad. So I suggest that you come off them very slowly. So that's my experiences of it. You know, if you get the choice between method, and this is only my opinion, and obviously everyone has their own opinion, but if you've got the choice between, and there are one or two other maintenance drugs similar to Suboxone, but if you get the choice between Suboxone, and some people just have Subutex. You know, Subutex is just buprenorphine without the safety net of naloxone, and that depends on your strength of, you know, character, if you like, whether you're going to crush them and snort them, or, you know, do all that sort of stuff. But the naloxone's in Suboxone for a reason. It's a safety net. So if I was you, you know, I'd choose Suboxone over all the others, and that, you know, that's just my opinion, obviously. So I hope that's been of some help for you. Please have a look at the channel. Please subscribe. Much love to you all. Carpe Diem. Seize the day today. Make the day you change your life. Take some control of your life, and take a deep breath and get out the chaos. Thank you. Bye-bye.